Welcome to 360 Net Worth with David Disraeli. And let's get right to it. You're writing a book, is that right?
I am. I'm working on my second book, actually. It's called Stock Joker, Why the Advice You Get is Either Biased, Incomplete, or just flat wrong.
Wow, that's quite an undertaking to write a book.
It's taken quite a while. It's based on 35 years of observations I've made in our business and information that I don't think you can get just anywhere.
Right, and that's our goal today, is to share some information. And I know that you wanted to focus a little bit on inflation. That's what everyone seems to be talking about. Prices are going up.
They sure are, and the official numbers come from the government called the Consumer Price Index, which is supposed to be a basket of things you and I buy, from groceries to transportation, clothing, housing, but they don't actually reflect what people I know spend their money on. And I want to give you some examples. So the slide that's on your screen now, it says, is inflation back? Over the last 12 months, the government says that the Consumer Price Index is up 5.1%. Okay, so I went back to right when COVID started, and I looked at what different commodities have done, because we know housing has gone up in Austin, for example, way more than the nation. But nationwide, housing is up just in the last 12 months, 25%. That's average. That's Detroit, that's Dallas, Houston, Austin on average. Austin obviously is much higher than that. Lumber is up 38%, so construction costs are going up. Now, these numbers on the screen reflect February of 2000, right before the first lockdown, till today, or literally a week ago. Copper is up 65%. Beef prices are up 44%. Oil is only up 10%. Wheat's up 40%. So either the inflation numbers we're getting are wrong or incomplete, or suddenly everybody that had gluten intolerance doesn't have it anymore. So I don't know which it is. But what we spend our money on certainly is going up. So I have a proposition to make, and that is to consider maybe your house hasn't gone up as much as you think. Maybe it just takes more dollars to buy that same house because your dollars are worth less. And let me give you a perfect example. People have $600,000 houses all over Austin. So if you sell your $600,000 house that you paid $300,000 for, you're thinking, wow, I made all that money. Well, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
Right, you have to have somewhere to live.
Right. You're going to have to spend an inflated price to buy whatever you buy or live in next. So did you really make any money, or did you just move an inflated price from one house to another? And I have a lot of friends that say, man, it's time to take my profit. And I'm like, and go where? So it really hasn't gone up, because the cost of living is the cost of living.
Right.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of inflation is, what does a person do now? Do they dump stocks? Do they dump dollars? Do they do something drastic? And the answer is no. So this next slide, we're going to look at what gold did as an example during the 2008 mortgage crisis, when we lost Merrill Lynch had to be bought by Bank of America. Bear Stearns is no longer in existence. Countrywide Mortgage is no longer in existence. Shearson Lehman Brothers no longer in business. Lots of companies disappeared, and the market dropped considerably, 40%. Later, we're going to talk about what would happen if you were 65 in 2008, and that's when you started drawing money out of your 401k. Would not have been pretty. So the slide that's on the screen right now is exactly what happened during 2008. The top line is what happened to gold prices, and the bottom line is what happened to stock prices. And during just that brief period of time, that market correction, there is over a 50% differential between gold performance and stock performance. So in that particular case, gold did act as a hedge against a falling stock market. Now, I don't know about you, I don't know about the people that are listening, but most people that I know in their gut right now feel like something is about to happen. They can't articulate.
A correction, maybe? Is that what you think people are feeling?
It could be a correction in the market, or it could be fueled by political instability or
unrest. There's a lot of things that could happen.
Well, what we've seen in the last 18 months, and the biggest reason I want to go ahead and finish this book is because the last 18 months, I have seen more change and more uncertainty and more instability than I have in the whole 35 years that I've been doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to talk about taking a stance to protect yourself against either a falling dollar, against some kind of a financial crisis, a banking crisis. Now, I'm not a doomsdayer.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
I have heard a doomsday prediction since I started in 1986.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, back then, the Dow was about to cross 2,000. And the older brokers in the office and even the public and the media were saying 2,000, the market can't go past 2,000. Well, it actually did. It went to 27.22 exactly, and then it dropped 500 points in one day and finished up for the year. We'll talk about that later. Actually, we'll talk about it now. The next slide that we're going to show on your screen is what happened to gold and to stocks on Black Monday in that 6-week period.
Okay.
The market dropped a total of about 32.8%. Look at gold, which is the top graph. It didn't go down at all. As a matter of fact, when people panic, they will dump stocks, they will dump bonds. But have you ever heard of panic gold selling?
No.
It's never happened. Gold has been a store of value or means of barter and exchange for 4,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always gone up, but it's been a store of value. It cannot go to zero. The money in your pocket, in your checking account, can go to zero. The stock market can correct.
But gold is gold, and it can't go to zero.
It cannot go to zero. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a silver version of these gold bars and silver bars that you can actually peel off and hand somebody a little chunk to pay for stuff if you ever needed to. If you can't get to the bank or you're locked out, snowed in, or whatever. This next slide is showing what happened from the crash in 2008 and how long it took just to break even. It took until 2014 for the Dow Jones Industrial Average just to get back to even. That's almost 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're retired in let's say 2007, 2008, and you had to ride that out while you're drawing money out, then when the market rebounds, you don't have as much money to rebound, so it's going to take you even longer. And maybe some people that made a large purchase will never fully recover. So when people say to me, well, the market is volatile and it can drop, and it has, but it's always come back. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this 35 years, and I've seen it come back. But if I was retired in 2008, I would not be preaching invest in stocks because it's always come back. I would say hedge and put money in different places. Mm-hmm. So next, I want to talk about what gold has done in stocks over the last 21 years. So from the beginning of 2000 until today. Okay. The stock market is up 250%. Gold is up 500%.
Wow.
Now think about this for a minute. Gold does not have employees. Gold does not produce a profit. Gold does not pay dividends. Gold does not generate anything. It just sits. It's a store of value. Companies produce profits. Companies grow. Companies hire new employees. Companies expand. They move into Austin, for example. A lot of them do or have. So how is that possible? How is it that gold was suddenly, after 4,000 years, decided to go up that much during the last, 21 years? And the truth of the matter is, I don't have an answer for that. There hasn't been a sudden rush to get jewelry or a sudden need for gold, but for whatever reason, money internationally, this is not a dollar-based investment necessarily, but internationally, gold has gone up considerably over that time period. Now, people can come in and show charts where it didn't go up. Obviously, over the last 200 years, there's plenty of periods, even 20 years, 20-year periods, where gold didn't, necessarily go up. And that's not why I think people should invest in precious metals. I think they should invest in precious metals because they're a store of value, they can't drop, and they will protect a portfolio if we do have a major correction. Mm-hmm. So I brought some samples I want to show you. This right here is called the Philharmonic quarter-ounce gold piece.
Okay.
That is minted by the government of Austria. It's known all over the world. It's pure gold. Check that out.
Can I see it? Yeah. Pure gold.
Yep. 0.9999% gold. So there's 3 or 4 major mints of gold coins. There's obviously the U.S., which is the American Eagle. There's the Canadian Maple Leaf. There's the South African Krugerrand, and then there's the Austrian Philharmonic. Okay, this next coin that I want to hand you, this is the new 2021 silver dollar. This is 1 ounce of pure silver. The retail price right now is about $32, while an ounce of silver is about $22. So you're paying a premium because they have to actually make these in a mint, and that's not free. But just see how heavy that is.
Yeah. Well, you don't feel many coins like that.
No.
Wow. It's almost like I've never had an Olympic medal, but
it is heavy, isn't it?
It's heavy, yeah. It's nice to actually have it in your hand, too.
I like it.
Right.
And my son asked me if he could take it out last night. He wanted to show his friends what a solid ounce of silver felt like and looked like.
It's beautiful, too, by the way.
Now, there's a company in Switzerland called Valcambi, and Valcambi has a reputation for making gold and silver bars. And what's unique about this is it's easy to store. This is 100 grams. They're sold in grams. The gold version is 50 grams because gold is so much more expensive. But it's very easy to store. As a matter of fact, you can put $1 million of gold in a shoebox. If you don't want to invest in a safe, just stick some in different places where people can't find it and save yourself the money.
Are these the ones that you were saying you can actually peel you can peel it?
I don't know if the camera will show this, but these are actually stamped like a Hershey's bar, so you can peel off 1 gram of silver, which is worth $1.20, and hand it to somebody, or give them as a gift.
Right.
It's a really cool little invention, and they've been around for years, and they're recognized around the world. Valcambi is, and you can obviously Google them or look them up.
And you said each one is how much? Each little stamp?
It obviously depends on the price of silver.
Sure. But based on
this one came in last week. It was $120 to me, which I get preferred pricing, obviously. But there's 100 of those, so you divide that by 100, and it's $1.20.
Okay, all right.
So the gold ones obviously are considerably more than that.
Yeah.
And I get a question too a lot. What is a troy ounce? Is it an ounce that was invented in Troy, Michigan, or what?
I'm thinking it has something to do with the ancient world.
Well, I don't know the history behind it, but a troy ounce has almost 3 more grams than a regular ounce.
Oh.
So precious metals are priced a little differently because an ounce is actually more than an ounce. It's right about 32.18 grams, and a regular ounce is just about 29 grams.
Okay.
So anyway, I appreciate you inviting me back and learning more about inflation and precious metals.
It's fun because every time I talk to you, I learn something new. And I love learning. I tell my daughter often, I said, try to learn something new today. And if you set that out as a goal, and maybe you have gold and silver interest you, there's a lot to learn, right? And people like you that know a lot about it are willing to share the information. People like me appreciate it.
One other thing I wanted to mention is that the IRS actually allows you to buy these coins and collectible items in an IRA account.
Oh.
So if that's where you have money invested and want to move it around a little bit, it's very easy to do. We have at least a dozen IRA companies that will transfer money from Vanguard or Schwab and buy physical gold. So you can store it in your home, you can carry it in your pocket, you can put it in your IRA. It's very portable. And it's very liquid, too.
Yeah. And for more information, people can reach out to you.
They can. And if you look on the screen here at this slide, at the very bottom, my phone number and my website are listed there. And the phone number is 512-464-1110. As a matter of fact, if you call me or send me an email from my website, I will let you know about a brand new offering that I was just made aware of where you can actually put your money in gold bullion held in a vault and use a MasterCard to pay for things instead of dollars.
All right.
I thought that was kind of cool.
That is cool. Reach out to David. It's always good seeing you.
Thank you.